Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Chemda, another jam-packed show, another new producer for the day. How you doing?
I'm good. This is very exciting. I like when our listeners pick the guests. It also lets me know who to pick later on as well. Like, these are the favorites. These are the ones that are getting picked.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Pippa Mags. Hello, Pippa Mags.
Hi, Keith and Chemda and everyone. Shout out to Xerxes.
Now, shout out to the Mags family. May I ask how you came up with the nickname Pippa Mags? Because that can't be human, right?
It is. My parents picked it for me. So my first name and middle name mushed together created this.
Your first name's Pippa?
My middle name.
Oh, okay. Look at this. Look at you.
Look
You're
at
a
how
real
he
person.
insulted you and is pretending like he didn't. Isn't that nice?
I thought there's no way those are real names.
I insulted my parents quite a bit as a child for calling me Margaret. You know,
Right.
Being a Margaret in the 80s was not the coolest name when everyone was like Tiffany and Heather and Ashley and then Margaret.
Well, he didn't give me this much grief for Chemda, so I don't know what he's doing about Margaret now.
I still think it's a play on words. It's some kind of mashup, right? Chemda. I saw this morning, we of course do OMAT, and you're a member of Chemda's OMAT club. And I see you in fatigues, military fatigues?
I do like to cosplay a bit for OMAT, and I recommend everyone come to OMAT, do a little cosplay, some yoga, meditation, mindfulness. It's worth it.
Listen, if you're gonna give a gratitude list, you should do it in fatigues. Then you can transition well into the plank.
Are you mad we didn't acknowledge your rank when we were talking to you at the end?
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
All right. Where'd you pick up fatigues at?
So I have like a very interesting relationship with fatigues. So I do have like a history in the service, and so I still have a couple uniforms sitting around that find their way into the rotation.
Okay, that's the interesting history that you were in the military.
I was, yeah.
Okay, it's interesting. What did you do in the military, may I ask?
A lot of paperwork, so not as exciting as what other people have done, but I sort of support the people who do the hard work.
Sure.
I assume it still comes with a lot of push-ups, though.
A lot of push-ups, which is great for the OMAT planking. I'm going to keep promoting OMAT, by the way, also, and the Keith and the Girl marathon, because I know for years I was listening and I was not able to like budget in the marathon. And then I realized start budgeting in early in the year. And then by next Christmas, you can have the budget to throw at these experiences. So for the listeners who are out there who are like me years ago when I was like, oh, I really want to do this, but how do I budget? Like, budget it in. It's worth it. This has been just a fun experience behind the scenes and working up to it, as well as budgeting in for OMAT. So not a paid ad, but just as the viewer and as the person experiencing it on my side, I've had nothing but great experiences.
That is so great to hear. Of course, just to really quickly sum it up, you were a Kickstarter supporter at a level that got you behind the scenes for the marathon. So you got to see all the mic checks, all the hellos, all the dropouts, things like that. And you also got this year the experience of picking the guests and being on a regular show, which is what we're doing now.
And it's only been 5 minutes, so we'll ask you at the end, okay? But here's the people you picked, and it's really all on their shoulders, isn't it? First of all, this guy has been a guest on Keith and the Girl since 2006. He's been on at least 58 episodes. I easily see it. KeithandtheGirl.com/guests. Cinematographer for an oversimplification of beauty. If you have the Criterion Collection app, you'll see it right there. Congrats on that. Matthew Bray.
What's up, y'all? It's an honor to be here. It was very fun to see Pippa at the marathon. I feel like she only picked me because I wore a suit to part of that, and I didn't even leave my house, so I guess it worked.
See, like Keith says when he's quoting Fred Durst, if you don't care, then we don't care.
That's right.
Well, we got to go by the Bible of Fred Durst, I think, then, huh?
Yes, let's hope he jumps off another roof into his parents' pool.
Normally, Matt doesn't wear suits. He role plays sometimes. He has an interesting story with suits. He used to have them. Right? All right. Also joining us, thanks to Pippa. Let's get to really know him, right? He's Keith and the Girl's director of operations. He happens to become his boyfriend, Xerxes.
Hey, How are you?
Hello.
Hey there, Xerxes. You know what? We keep hearing about Kenda's situation, of course, in quarantine and living out of that closet, and it's almost been a year. How are you holding up relationship wise, being in the same place?
I think I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have half my hair, so that's good. Still.
Is it falling out?
Yeah,
I mean, stress?
You can't see it, but
right.
Sure.
All right. Well, we'll get to all of that. I want to know what's really doing over there. Also joining us, by the way, you want to check out this new series. It's available by the time you hear this. ForgottenAnimalSeries.com. It's about looks like it's about a group of people that take care of the animals that no one wants to take care of: rats, snakes, pigeons, cockroaches. Done with the camera, office style. Jessie Jolles.
Hello.
Hello. How you holding up?
I'm doing great.
Uh-oh. Well, congrats on your series nonetheless.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I am doing well.
We'll follow what's doing. And the final guest that Pippa Mags was able to bring to us from the War Report podcast, Shalewa Sharpe. Hello, Shalewa.
Hello.
Now,
Hi,
you're
everyone.
not you've described yourself before as not a people person. Is that in that regard? Never mind the 500,000 deaths in America alone. In that regard, is the pandemic a good thing?
I mean, we could all stand to wash our hands more
Right.
and not be all up on me in line. And really,
Right.
when it's cold, a mask is very toasty. I'm not really seeing the downsides yet.
Tell me what you guys think about this. And anybody obviously join in at any time. I was picking up pizza the other day, and I saw that they had a sign and a clipboard that people filled out that says New York State requires that, and it's a regular pizza place. Most people just take their slice and go. Requires that indoor dining to occur, take the temperature, must provide contact information before or when entering the establishment, first name, last name, home address, and phone number, thank you, and the name of the pizza place. So if they want to take a chair in one of the few tables in there, they have to sign their name in case they need to be used or contacted regarding contact tracing. Once I see that, I go, no. What Mount Everest risk am I taking that I have to sign something to eat inside? No. When can we eat indoors again? When we don't have to sign our names for contact tracing. Even if I wanted to, this is saying no. Sign here if you're a piece of shit. I am. And I want to eat indoors my pizza in this small little establishment.
I'm okay with a piece of shit registry. That's fine too. I feel like we should probably have those folks on a, just kind of so we can find them later in case we need a piece of shit.
Right.
Sometimes
Yeah, okay.
you do.
Right. Daft Punk broke up, but at least they stuck together for 28 years wearing those stupid masks.
Hey, no
can't put
Daft
one on
Punk
to get
slander. No Daft Punk slander.
I'm saying they could do it for almost 3 decades. You can't do it to picking up salad dressing. It's a little ridiculous. Wear a mask. It's not the biggest deal.
We're really discovering what Keith does in a day, huh? Going out to pick up some salad dressing, a slice of pizza, and a pole for being an asshole. Like, it's just, when you hear New York City is an exciting place, you don't hear the ins and outs of the Keith Malley. And that's what I think we get on the Keith and the Girl show.
I'm just confused because I'm sorry. I'm just confused because Keith, you've given fake names at emergency rooms for maybe 10 years ago or so. So allegedly. I mean, I think that we've passed the statute of limitations, but sure, allegedly.
Are you a lawyer now?
You'd probably see a list like that and think, well, how come Mickey Mouse is at this restaurant every day?
Right. I gotta go to Sesame Street to contact trace these motherfuckers, you liars.
There was a time where I was testing out if they're even looking at my signature when I signed my credit card. I wrote Santa Claus. I wrote fuck you. I wrote like all these that no one gave a shit. And now all I do is draw a line, like literally just enough for the thing to highlight to hit okay. And I think I'm so clever. Like, I beat the system. I'm shaving minutes off my life of fucking signature signing. And then I see someone ahead of me and he does the same thing. And I'm like, right, I'm the same idiot everybody is.
Right.
Yeah.
They're never going to catch us.
As someone who has had to be on the other side of that register, yeah, you all sign it the same. Every one of you. One line a dot, whether or not there's an I in your name, a dot over it just in case.
Who has
And-
time to sign a name?
I still I squiggle. I do movement.
You're a nice
Right.
person.
I'm a nice person though.
I put
and
an
I
X,
believe.
but my name starts with an X, so I got lucky.
Oh yeah.
I did it
write out
once.
my name.
Right. You write your whole name?
Right. The whole, not the middle, but the first and last.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. You're not going to get me.
I've done it once and it didn't take. And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. That's it. Like the hairs from my finger or something made it. I'm like, okay, done.
But even this is one of the things where I'm not sure if it matters or not. So whatever. But during COVID, I'm like, well, the less I touch this pad,
Right.
the better. Like I'm doing a lot of Apple Pay and sometimes they make you sign anyway, but the less I have to touch anything. There's one place by our place that lets you do Apple Pay, but their machine is behind the glass. So you have to give your phone to the person.
Mm.
And then and how does that person feel when I almost give it and then drop it so that we don't have to touch by accident? I'm just doing all these weird gymnastics so that I don't touch another human being right now. But yes, please have my phone for a few seconds while I can't see it. Sure.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
What do you then make a show of putting on sanitizer? Like, do you then just have
Right.
a huge bottle that you're just squirting in your hand for like a full 3 seconds and
No,
then just
because
rubbing it all the
You're
way
not
up to
gonna
your-
like this. I do not like sanitizer. And
Okay,
so
well, it was nice knowing you, Hemda.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you hand your phone to the bodega people, it's basically germ exchange. You just that's like a one-way ticket to everything you could possibly be infected with. You just gave to them, and they just gave to you on your phone.
Yeah,
Well, I
just
love
lick
the
the partition. Just
I
lick
love-
the partition.
Love the idea that I can go through open heart surgery and a frozen diaphragm. I'm operating on half a lung, like all this shit in my history, myasthenia gravis, the whole thing. And my fucking bagels is what's going to kill me in New York City.
I don't know. I think touching stuff at bodega just makes you stronger.
Wow.
Born and raised in
Me
New
too.
York, Xerxes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I
we're
thought
all-
that too.
We're all half feline now. I saw this on Twitter. James Felton writes, scientists say, watch and wonder as we land a rover on the surface of Mars itself. And the public, I can't even begin to comprehend how you do such a thing. And then scientists say, also cloth make virus stay in mouth. And the public goes, fuck off, Poindexter. You don't know shit.
That's cute.
Amen. And I know, of course, people, if I don't blame you if you're in some crowd because you have to work. What am I going to say if you need to get out there and make money? And that's why I want to say this right now. Movie theaters are opening up in March. And if there's an AMC theater next to you, go. Just go. Go get that shit. If we have to make our money back, then you have to make money back. And go enjoy the fucking theater. It's different. It's bigger.
Man,
it's different.
It took a pandemic for me to actually start watching movies. Like when they
Right.
open back up, are they still don't have the nerve to charge me $18 for some bullshit?
Sure.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, then no, I ain't going. Nuh-uh. Fuck a marble. I'm not going. Mm-mm.
Fuck
They
a
already
marble.
put it all on some channel already that I don't have, but I think my roommate does. And I could probably get a sign on. I'll catch up that way. I'm not going to a theater.
Starting March 5th, here in New York, we'll be allowed to reopen at 25% capacity or at a maximum of 50 people per screening, whichever one is lower. Masks are mandatory, but those are going to be taken off. And seating will be assigned with social distancing in mind. Then
Okay.
theaters are saying, well, we're going to fight it so we can soon make it 50%.
But people can
because
eat in the theaters, right?
You can eat, put your legs out. You can fuck now. It's
So the
encouraged.
mask is coming off.
Right. Like if they sell popcorn,
Of
are
course.
they liable for people even
Yeah.
removing the mask just to
So-
and with popcorn, you have to keep shoving things.
You
like,
have
that's
to
how I-
keep
you have
shoving.
to-
The mask
what
can't
people have
even
been
sit
doing.
near you if you have popcorn, unless it's scooping.
That's what
Scoop
people
from the
are
mask.
doing on planes, on flights.
Right.
Is that the only time you cannot have a mask on a flight is when you're eating?
Yeah.
What are you gonna
People are either-
starve?
So either people are getting snacks and just taking forever to
Mhm.
eat,
Right.
or they're getting things like popcorn, or they're just they're just nibbling on it and they're like, I'm still eating. And they
Yeah.
don't have their mask on for that whole flight. Yeah,
What?
people are terrible.
how, I mean, I guess that you also have to drink water on certain number of flights, but I'm afraid to drink my drink. Like if I even have a drink, I won't go into the place if I have a drink in my hand, because I'm afraid that all of it is going to go into my cup. So I'll just, no, it's not scientific, but it frightens me that there's like an open container and I'm indoors with other people, like in the supermarket or something.
Yeah.
The popcorn's also something you eat with your hands. It's going to get all over your mouth and your hands, and then you're going to touch your seat, and you're going to get up, and then you got to go, oh, somebody's got to go to the bathroom. Keith watches that application that tells him when he can go pee during the movie. Then you got to touch your hands to your mouth again. It's going to be great. We're never getting rid of COVID, right? This is never going away.
Can you imagine dying for Wonder Woman 1984?
Yeah, we're extra angry at the end. Oh, fuck off.
There's going to be like 80 minutes of commercials before every movie that comes back because we got to make up for all the time that they didn't have them.
Also, yeah, movies are going to have to be so incredible. Like it's not going to be enough that you have a big screen, because a bunch of people spend some of that money on big screens in their house now, because the money that you would have put to going out in the theater and whatever. And if you're not, if this didn't put you in a bad financial space, you probably souped up your house a little bit. And I'm making this up, but why don't we go with it like it's statistics?
No, that's absolutely right. My roommate bought a bigger television. I mean, and I'm springing for streaming services that I got no business, that I have to sit myself down every weekend and go, watch a fucking movie, Shalewa, because you're paying for this shit. And then I just sit there with my arms crossed like, I guess this is good because I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go out into the street.
It's almost the reverse. Like we got that Hulu 1 week trial for Brittany. Thank you very much. I am caught up on the most important things in life. But then Xerxes starts watching Nathan For You, and he is cackling like a little girl, like 5 little girls, like just
very funny.
The time of his life. Then he does one of those things where it's like, let me explain the episode to you. And I'm like, sure, that's good. Why not? And then I'm like, why don't we keep Hulu? You're having such a good time. And he's like, no, that's another bill. I'm like, but you're having such a nice time.
There's commercials still.
Yeah, that's annoying.
We have to pay for a streaming service and watch commercials.
Oh,
You don't have to-
I think you can pay for no commercial.
But it is a lot. It's a lot though, because
that's crazy.
I actually pay for the commercials, but I need it, or else I will just sit there and not feel my legs after a couple of hours. I need something to come on and go, hey, get car insurance, and also maybe pee or just stand up. So I'll do it. But then I also only watch Hulu when I remember that I have Hulu. I'm paying for all this crap. It's no good.
Shalewa's going old school with the commercials. Oh, now it's time for me to get up. Shalewa, you can get up anytime now.
Not if I'm just sitting there.
You can pause.
Who remembers to do that? Why would I stop them? They're getting so into it. I'm enjoying it so much. Why would I stop it?
If they wanted me to pause, they would have paused it themselves.
Exactly. That's why I'm gonna let them make all the decisions for
and
me.
the actors will get
money every month. Let them decide when I can stand up. And even Netflix is like, hey, yo, you still doing this? I appreciate that. I totally appreciate that.
When you two, Xerxes and Hemda, you guys are good watching movies, or does somebody pick one and then not watch it?
We have a system where we ask Google to flip a coin, and then whoever it lands on, I'm always heads, he's always tails. Whatever it lands on, that's the person who gets to decide. Here's the fucked up part. You could be going through an episodic thing. You get 1 episode. But if you want to watch a movie, 2.5 hours could be yours.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It goes by show episode as opposed to time.
Yes.
So Hemda's picking shit she never wanted to see, like the extended version of Gone with the Wind. It's like, hey, I'll just hang around with you if you want.
Well, it's fun because she picks movies and she doesn't read what the movie's about or watch a trailer. So it's a lot of fun.
Now Hemda's a big
no spoilers.
None at all, or like even what the movie's about.
You know what's funny? When Kyle goes through movies, she sees a title and would be like, oh, this looks good. I'm like, you just saw words though. And then something that I've heard about, the title doesn't grab her. And I'm talking movies, fake fiction movies. And she's like, nah, not that. I'm like, why? You just didn't like the words, and I know something about it. Yours, you just like your words.
We shouldn't be surprised that they're superheroes in this movie. Yeah.
We did get caught. He picked this, which was surprising. There was a movie called I Care a Lot.
Oh,
yeah.
You liked that?
No. It was
horrific.
So corny. It was so like, look at us. We hire women in powerful, evil positions, and they're going to get away with it because they're fabulous. Look at this woman work out a lot. Do you know why we're showing you work out a lot? She's going to get in a bind, and her work out a lot, you won't be able to call bullshit because we already showed you that she worked out. So she can handle her shit. Also, she's dealing with, spoiler, the fucking Russian mafia. But don't worry. She can handle it. Like,
she's got a sharp bob. She'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, men keep coming at her. She comes right back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't stop her. Not a car crash, not anything. Okay. You can kill her mob style, but she's coming back.
Matt, actually, because you're a shooter, is that you do your
cinematography?
Yeah, I make films. Yeah, I'm cinematographer.
I thought this movie, I've never felt like I've been watching more of a student film, like with the lens flare. It was like, hey, what if we did a lens flare here? Like, I was just appalled at.
There's a lot of lens flare these days. I think Wonder Woman, it was mostly just a lens flare movie that they put her behind it, and they were like, 1984 Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Okay, that counts.
I just thought it was so, unnecessary. And I personally hated the writing. I don't like any sort of, if I was just murdered, I wouldn't go make out with my partner.
I know.
I wouldn't. I would cry in a shower alone. And if someone touched me, I'd be like, don't touch me. I almost was murdered. So I hate when male directors make women make out at moments where we should all just take 5,
I said exactly. I'm like, wow, this fucking fake lesbian scene is the most gratuitous thing I've ever seen. And it's not like they're showing each other like really having sex, but even the affection, I'm like, what are you doing?
Not now.
I feel like they should have called the movie, Look, We Hired Women.
I'm starting to think I have access to a totally different internet than you guys do. I don't know what I've never heard of any of this, and it's so surreal. What you're describing is nuts.
That one it's the newest thing that Netflix dropped last weekend. And what I enjoy doing is watching the internet struggle over whatever it is that Netflix told them to watch. The only reason y'all watch that is because it's the first thing that came up on Netflix. Nobody ever bounces down to maybe other choices. Right. So I saw it come up and I was like, nah, I'm good. I watched Gone Girl like 2 weeks ago. And then I just kept it moving.
It's money. They got money behind that film. Big money to be on the top of Netflix. She was just nominated for a Golden Globe, which is an abomination to any film that there's any nomination in this film is psychotic. So
they definitely got Netflix money, and they got part of my money, which is
me too.
I thought that the Golden Globes are now just brought to you by Netflix at this point, right? Like I thought they bought it out.
That's the thing. I usually love what Netflix does. I think their originals are amazing. I've never said that about any kind of like movie house or something like that, but I know a Netflix thing, so I trust that. And I was like, wow. But I have had conversations with Netflix on my own, like, because I have it set to it just starts the trailer, and so I have to keep scrolling to keep it moving. It's a lot of energy. And I have said, you're not going to get me, Netflix. But then they go
for you.
I immediately go down. I'm like, no, I know I'm not looking for this new shit that you're trying to get me to watch. I'll give it like a month before. I'll wait for Twitter to calm down on that and come up on. Honestly, the only way that I'll see people on Twitter make a joke about weird, random things. And then my roommate will say something and I'm like, well, what's that about? And he's like, oh, it's this new movie that came out on Netflix. And suddenly 10 tweets that I read that day that made no sense make all the sense in the world because, that movie came out and that's what these idiots are talking about.
Yes, that's how I like to learn that celebrities die. Like,
you don't come to me? I listed almost every time a celebrity dies. That's like a weird thing that I've been doing. I don't mean to. I don't search it out. But like, back in when everybody like honestly used Yahoo accounts as their as their email, and you could get Yahoo News. I somehow would always manage to check my email and get Yahoo News within 20 minutes of some celebrity dying. And I would just be like, why do I keep seeing this news over and over? And then like I would say something about it on like LiveJournal. That's how long ago it was. And then just any new social media thing, I would just be like, well, so-and-so died. I went to take a shower and, Bernie Mac died. My bad. And you know what I mean? Like I just seem to end up doing that a lot. And so now I and at different times I've had to like stop because people would get mad that I didn't say anything about some other person that died. And I'm like, hey,
eulogy?
I'm like, I'm not like, first off, I'm not killing the people. So I'm not on top of everybody who died. And secondly, that person didn't mean anything to me. I don't care. I'm only naming the people who I'm sad about dying or whatever.
Well, I should follow you, because what ends up happening is I end up playing my own game show. So people's response to death it varies. For example, recently I saw "Rotten Hell, You Motherfucker," and I'm like, oh, okay.
Rush Limbaugh.
I'm like, oh, sex scandal? No. R.I.P. You won't be missed. And then it ended up being what's his face? Who's playing along?
Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah. See, isn't that fun? Or
fun.
You wake up and you start reading stuff like, oh no, and you're like, no, not Oprah, not Michelle, not Oprah. Oh my God. And then you just, you kind of keep reading. They give you a little bit of hint and then you get it. And it's a fun game show.
Yeah, what I do now is I just say be easy, and I say either a first or last name, or I say a character that they're known for. But that's how I do it now. I've changed it up. I used to say celebrity death watch and then say who it was. Now I just say be easy. And when people now, they know what be easy means when I say that. So when Rush Limbaugh died, I just wrote be easy with a question mark. And all these people were just like, yo, this actually was the best one you've done yet, because do we really want them to rest?
Which is weird. Last time I saw Shalewa, she said, all right, take care, Henda, be easy, Keith. And I'm like, wait. Interesting.
Can I just thank Pippa for putting this panel together? Because I feel like I'm a part of the opposite of a positive vibes only situation here, like T-shirt. So we're kind of keeping it real with who should be easy when they die and who should not. It's great.
Yeah.
Hey, you want a nice eulogy? Live a nice life.
Everyone should follow Shalewa on Instagram. The best Instagram lives.
Wow.
The best.
I just eat a lot of junk food with my roommate. That's what I do almost every week.
And that's somebody you listen to. Respect the people that kind of maybe were in the military, right?
Yeah. You hear that, everybody who's been trying? Just eat with your roommate.
That's honestly, and it's only because they make such terrible snack foods out there, or at least flavors. And so like last fall, they had a turkey dinner flavored candy corn. Ooh, like turkey, green beans, stuffing, carrots, cranberry sauce, all in one bag, but each piece was a different flavor. And I guess if you ate it all together, it was supposed to taste like Thanksgiving dinner.
Maybe the way my mom made it. Yeah.
Truly. And I love candy corn just in general. But man, this was the most foul shit I've ever put in my mouth, including men I've dated. Gross.
And you know my thoughts on that. Gross. You bring up how Netflix, is great as a production house. It's not a production house per se, but these guys put out great movies. AMC starting March 5th. See it up close and personal, please. Jesus. Okay.
Should you use your Dogecoin to pay for the movies at the end?
Yes.
You can buy a ticket and not show up.
Yeah, right. You don't even have to show up. Just support. Please.
Buy a ticket so you have the experience and watch a different movie at home.
Anybody watching Allen versus Farrow on HBO? It is not looking good for one of them. I'll tell you that much.
Spoiler alert.
It's a 4-part series. Part 1 is out now. They're letting you, week by week to, digest how vomitous this is. It angers me in a way, the way Marilyn Manson just got called out recently, where I'm like, How didn't everybody? Don't we know all this? At least the first hour so far, we know Dylan is accusing Woody of fucking her, one of the adopted daughters, and we know the story of Soon Yi, where Mia Farrow went back to Woody's apartment to pick up a coat, and right there on the table next to his typewriter was pictures of an underage nude Soon Yi. This is like blowing people's minds. It has to be presented just so for people to be shocked. I believe this will be his downfall, and it took pretty packaging to do it. And I'm only
Honestly,
1/4 done, but I think this is it.
I think the only way we're raising folks right now, the only way people can really understand how something happened is once there's a beautifully made documentary about it. Because right. I'm trying to live through this COVID thing because I want to see what the documentaries about this will look like.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the only way. I mean, that's the only way people took the whole R. Kelly shit seriously is when there was, the R. Kelly.
I brought that up to Keith as well.
Yeah,
I said I took Dream Hampton's documentary to make Chappelle's joke be the horror that it really is.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you think that life will change if they make a Holocaust documentary?
We might believe it.
Wait, I mean, haven't they already won them all the Oscars? I think. Well, we're coming back around to not believing in the Holocaust. Also, you gotta wait.
When was the last movie about it that we all went and saw? Yeah.
Who wants to make more?
I'm still not convinced. It sounds, there's just 6
Wait till they make the documentary about the round Earth. It's going to be wild. People's minds are going to explode.
So last year, Woody Allen came out with a book. There's an audio version he did also called Apropos of Nothing, but it's an autobiography. And I remember saying, this can only be bad for him. If it's an autobiography, he either talks about nothing, personal life, or he at least mentions these controversies. So he's going to have to mention it. That could only end up bad, and it is because they're taking that audiobook, and that's his side of the story as Mia Farrow and the kids tell their side of the story. And it definitely adds to it, definitely makes him seem like a piece of shit. He didn't say anything so crazy yet, but he is saying how he was attracted to this one kid, how this one kid stood out. And then you hear Mia's side, and they kind of go together, even though he's not saying it's so evil. It's very well done. The publishers of the memoir are going to try to sue him, but I'm going to guess that HBO looked it up and realized you can't. Well, whatever they figured out, if it's because they just play little clips or because they're talking about it in a certain way, they figured out that they're not. Well, we didn't think we could use it.
Right.
Who the fuck's on our lawyer team? Well, I didn't. No, they know they can use it. They're not sweating. They paid a lot of money for the lawyers. You're not scaring them. It's everybody thinks. Krista Lee just came out with a non-apology, thinking enough time.
He's still talking,
right? He's thinking enough time went by. He can come out now, and the apology is stupid, and he says all my sex that I had was consensual, and I do want to apologize to everybody that I had a sick libido, and I love to have sex, and I would get like 50 emails in my every day if I was doing a show somewhere, and I would try to have sex with all these people, and it's disgusting, and I wasn't respecting myself or them, and it's to my fiance. It sounds like he's still with her. My fiance, that was a terrible for us. Like, motherfucker.
This is one of those, I have a sexual addiction. You know what? My ex tried that on me.
Right.
And I tell you what, yes. Oh, no, I'm only disgusting because I have a sexual addiction. No, you're also disgusting because of your sexual addiction, but there's some other stuff looming in the side notes of your life as well that have become my life. Get the fuck out. Okay, we're good.
Well, I saw this on our forums. Svaj wrote, I just saw Krista Lee is back. Here's his apology on YouTube. You can find it. Thoughts? I'm still watching, formulating my thoughts. And Maya writes, I haven't followed much of this, so maybe this is a lot worse than I know, but the YouTube video was a much better apology/confession than what I've seen from shitbags in the past. Obviously doesn't excuse past behavior, but I think he probably knows that. I might just also have a very low standard for apologies from shitbags. Well, here's the thing that people don't remember. His accusations were about pedophilia and coercion. He tricked you. He goes, why would anybody care that you fuck too much? I'm not your fiance. That's not why we canceled you.
Also, I think we're learning how to do better apologies. I mean, you can't be in the game doing dirt this long without having to adjust.
I think we're learning.
They got PR teams.
Yeah, we're learning how to read apologies for real, like how to hear them.
They gotta change how they write the apology so that they seem to,
genuine.
Yeah. I mean, like it's an art form.
I'm sorry that I enjoyed the female body too much. No, Chris, that wasn't the problem. The word 14 is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Well, someone alluded to the timing of it coming out. I'm surprised it didn't come out like the moment they stormed the Capitol. Like Crystalia like, this is the time for me to put out my video.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I imagine dirtbags who saw a kindred spirit in the White House, and now that kindred spirit is gone and no one's paying attention to that dirtbag. I wonder if they're like, okay, well, if we just kind of let him go, they're probably going to be cool with me. I could probably just come in here and say, all right, I know it looks bad, which was the pull quote I saw on the Crystalia story. It was his quote was, I know it looks bad. And I'm like, nothing good follows. I know it looks bad, but I swear to you, she said she was 8,
Right.
No. And then there are other older clips of him just like, have you seen these girls these days? They either look like they're 6 or they're like 30. And I'm like, bruh, none of this is helping. None of the just hush. We're done with you. We're done with your type.
But it's crazy that these people still have to like, he couldn't shut up. He has the microphone. They turn on their own microphones. Woody Allen had to write a book of his life and obviously not explain nothing because it didn't really make the news at the time. I remember that. You just had to. You just had to. It's the same thing, I guess, that makes you have to make movies or do stand-up or be on TV. But you just
because they don't think they're wrong.
Yeah.
They're literally justifying why they don't think what happened to them is correct and why they don't think that we know the full story or we would have forgiven them. It's not
that's what I mean. I think it's I think they do know, and I think it's a trick. He would if he wants to trick us or apologize, whatever he wants to, you'd bring up the pedophilia thing. That was the big problem. Not you fuck too much. He's not confused that the ages thing was a thing.
Woody Allen put it in all his movies. He basically gave it away that he was doing it. And then Louis C.K. did the same thing. Yeah. It's like there's scenes of what Louis C.K. did in his shows.
Yeah. They've been snitching on themselves for years. That's one thing I noticed when I started doing stand-up is like the jokes will tell on you.
Yeah.
Your jokes will tell on you. Even if you're doing just like set up punchline jokes. A theme will develop and you'll go, oh, yeah, okay, I see you. Why does this particular thing always pop up? I've been watching you for like 5 years and somehow you always seem to go to this particular thing. That's your
funny
thing.
Because similarly, it finally dawned on me when somebody's like, yeah, I just somehow got into a fight while I was out and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, how do you always get into a fight? Like that's
somehow?
Yeah. Like, how is it? Do you know all the bars that fight at 2 a.m.? Like, are they all the bars? I don't know. Like, how does it follow you? Like, you have such bad luck that nobody else has with the mouth that you have. Like, it's so.
Yeah. Just think of all those Craigslist, looking for a roommate ads that say no drama. Okay. Yeah. Right. How much drama have you had that you have to list it? And if so,
how about
is it always the other person's fault?
How about a section of detectives? They work in like the film section, and their job is to watch movies and stand up and just take notes.
Yeah, they already got those.
Okay, good.
Their name is Seth Simons. and he writes for various publications.
All right, good. It's good to know. Here's some bummer news. Xzibit.
Oh no! If Keith already says bummer news, that's like
sad.
So nerve-wracking. Okay.
Now for the uplifting portion of the show.
Right.
Xzibit, X to the Z, and his wife Krista Joiner They divorced after 6 years.
But he totally made her car look awesome. You guys have no idea. It was amazing.
Right, the dude from Pimp My Ride. You pet a dog yesterday? I bought you 50 dogs, baby. It's like, we're getting a divorce. Oh, you like to eat chicken? I bought you a zoo. Okay, Xzibit. You're not really listening. I appreciate the money, but you're not thinking.
Is this weird to say? He seemed nice.
He seems nice.
He does seem nice.
He's not dead.
No.
I'm checking Shalewa's Instagram.
He's getting a divorce. And honestly, this is probably the first time someone's talked about him in years.
Okay.
So things are looking up for old Xzibit.
You watch, it's amicable. He's going to have a great album. It's going to be amazing.
He's going to be fine. This
Hey,
isn't
look,
like
I
a
put
Dr. Dre situation. This is Xzibit. It's going to be okay.
Do they watch Pimp My Ride? It's like, look, I put 17 fish tanks in the back of this guy's car. Honey, why? What is the show?
I also love it, though, that Kim and Kanye announced their divorce, and Keith's like, Xzibit's getting divorced.
I know. I was just like, wow, what back page of allhiphop.com did you get this news from? You're like 15 clicks in to get to Xzibit's divorce.
I thought we already knew about Kim and Kanye. It seems the whole world just catches up to me. They'll be talking about Xzibit next week. You'll see.
Yeah.
But Dr. Dre did get a divorce, right?
Oh, it's a real ugly divorce. It's not even done yet. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what you got to do to file paperwork when Dre was in the hospital? Like, what did he have a stroke or something?
He had a stroke.
And she's like, I'm still filing. What happened there?
Not only she still filed papers, and when they announced in the news that he was in the hospital with a stroke, folks ran up in his house and stole shit. Like, now that's a divorce. Now we talking. That's a lot. Xzibit, he and his wife are probably just gonna have to, do something virtually.
Right.
Is it rude that when I hear things like about Dre's divorce or Kim and Kanye, I'm just like, man, I can't wait for this next record. It's gonna be great.
No. Well, nothing's coming from Dr. Dre. We ain't getting a record from him ever again. He's just gonna get bigger and bigger as he works out more. But Kanye's record, I mean, either it's going to be a complete hot mess or it'll be a return to form.
Well, what is it like? Speaking of music, what is it like Hemda and Xerxes living together? And Hemda, I know you used to like to play music loud and really get into it and dance. And can you do that?
No, I don't think people should do that. No, it doesn't bother me when people do it, but I always think I'm bothering someone else if I'm playing my music, especially because I really focus on some corny shit sometimes, or I'll get into I have a 15-minute song that just repeats a mantra and it just sounds pretty to me. Or I can listen to Whitney Houston for a couple hours, never repeat a song, or I could listen to one song for a couple hours on repeat. And I really love singing on top of everything, full out, ridiculous. And yeah, I will break into dance, maybe. But now, if I live with someone, I save them from that. I exclude them from that horror. And the most I'll do now, because we're in a studio apartment, is if I'm in the shower, I'll play the music out, without headphones. But if I could wear headphones in the shower, I would save you from some of that nonsense as well.
Hemda singing into a towel. Just crying.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, so then we don't actually get to hear the source material. We only hear you singing.
It's just mumbles.
Yeah.
In the bathroom. I like when people play music out loud. It's fun.
I don't
It's nice to
believe him.
share that. Well, do it. Let's see
She-
what
she-
happens.
Wow.
So she decides not to believe you and doesn't get to enjoy this part of her life, but you're telling her to please do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please
he's
do.
Her empathy is so strong that she's like, you're not telling me the truth.
Right.
I know you don't enjoy this.
right, because we listen. We have a small window of what both of us like to listen. It's 90s hip hop. Maybe he likes one R&B song, but we like a lot of 90s, but it'll mostly be in this one or two playlists on Spotify, right? Everything else is I'll listen to Mariah Carey. He's listening to Daniel Johnston. Now, people who can hear Mariah Carey cannot hear Daniel Johnston and vice versa. It sounds like,
right? That is.
Hold on, but maybe we want to try.
Wow.
okay, he's being so nice. And you know what I said to him? Mind your business.
Yeah.
No,
Good for
yeah,
you.
yeah. No, Chemda's been around long enough. She knows that she's not going to. Knowing yourself means knowing that you're not going to sit through any indie rock bullshit if you haven't yet.
I will.
I mean,
I'm okay with it.
I absolutely will listen to both, but that I've done that the whole time. But if you've been like heavy on Mariah Carey, if you've been a heavy Mary J. Blige person, you can't just turn around and be like, and now I'll try Built to Spill, unless you've already done that.
Right.
And I feel like that's not really.
and vice versa, right? He's not going to be like, oh, that Mariah Carey, that was a jam. I'm going to have to apologize after every, like, for me
I grew up with Mariah Carey. I'm
like
aware
down
of all
the
her
block,
music.
but not like listening to it.
You don't
All
know
right,
him.
So what's your Mariah Carey go-to jam then? Like,
Oh
what's
my
the
God.
one?
Xerxes.
Me?
Xerxes. Yeah. What's your
hold on.
one?
I didn't know I celebrate her catalog and I know every song. I'm just saying I know what I'm in for. And I'm not
I
gonna be
know what I'm
surprised.
in for.
If somebody grew up with me, I hope they say, I know what I'm in for with Keith. Let me put it
He
that
likes
way.
her cover of Jackson 5's I'll Be There.
Like the one where she like,
Right.
real loud.
When she introduced, who was it, John Cicada? Somebody else who was famous became famous because she was like, you're doing a solo on my cover of a Jackson 5 song.
Oh
and
yeah,
now
no,
you have a
we
music
heard
career.
that dude's name and then we never heard from him again. Just
That's
like
true.
the guy who sang with Alicia Keys on that Diary song, the unplugged version, who sang better than Alicia Keys, which isn't hard. But
How dare you?
Whoa, shots fired.
I say that as a fan of Alicia Keys.
I understand.
That bitch is never singing in her range. She's got a deeper voice than she wants to let us all know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's always shrieking.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will still play it and just go, girl, you need to just go down an octave. It's okay.
That girl's on fire to me. I really like everything she sings.
Who's
when
that?
Xerxes goes to, I love it even more. When Xerxes goes to the corner store, do you immediately like jump on the table and play music loud?
I have.
Mhm.
I will
This
wait.
is weird.
This is Henda's secret time.
Play the music out loud, not in secret.
I told him
but then
that
Xerxes, when you're going to the corner store, are you then bumping something in your headphones that you wouldn't normally?
I might be. No. I don't do the not normally.
So
no,
would
he'll
you be
play
okay?
things.
You'll play stuff out loud?
Yeah, if I want
Girl,
to, yeah.
if you don't go ahead and play stuff out loud, dudes have been forcing their music on women for a long time. That's the only reason I know who Daniel Johnson is.
That's the only reason why I know.
So absolutely play it.
I hear what you guys are saying, but
I don't. That's a problem, and I want to.
I know. I feel like I'm doing a person who lives with me a favor and not playing, because I understand why you wouldn't like Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, like Toni Braxton, like all this stuff. There's a lot of vocal gymnastics. There's the lyrics can get real super corny. Like you might be able to write that kind of stuff in like an hour, but it hits me. And then I need to sing along. And then I don't want to sing along nice. So I'm like only half singing along, because then I'm just like, what am I doing? This is ridiculous. The only time I feel comfortable singing in front of people is if I'm on a stage and you're paying me, because then I know you want to be there.
Hemda, these aren't niche artists though. I mean, when you hear "Unbreak My Heart," most people have heard that song.
Yeah,
it's not
heard
like,
it.
You're not talking
Heard
like
it.
Gigi Allen.
Yeah,
Right.
But they don't want to hear it just
Oh, who
because they
doesn't want
heard
to
it.
hear it?
That's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
not
let's
necessarily
ask Xerxes. Xerxes, do you want to hear Toni Braxton?
I do now.
See,
Here's the thing.
I think it's
because
because he wants to see you happy. I think he wants to
Exactly.
see you thriving and happy, and so he feels like he's
Right.
missing out on like an experience to see you that way.
Doing
Stop
something
hiding
you
your
enjoy.
light under a
Yeah.
bushel. Just let him see you.
He
so
doesn't care
uncomfortable.
about your vocals, which is
Mm-mm.
beautiful.
He
Yeah.
should. I sing
No, I
nice.
shouldn't. That'd be fucking even weirder.
That
be
would be
awesome
weirder if he scores you at the end.
It'd be awesome after 5 hours of I want to dance with somebody. He's like, about 3 hours in, you were a little pitchy.
There's a chart like my AMC stock. Here's how your performance was.
There was one time where I actually let loose in the shower and I'm like, I can't anymore. So I was like really singing full out. And then I get out of the shower and tell me which one of us is being sensitive. He goes, I heard you singing in the shower. And I just freeze. I'm just like, well, there's got to be a sentence after that.
Right.
There was nothing. And then I go, well,
I got to take it slow. I can't tell you I liked it. Because then you're gonna retreat and you're gonna like run down the street to sing.
I have fantasized about when this is done, I'm gonna rent out a studio and like put headphones on and sing like for 3 hours full on. But I don't want to put anyone
through the supermarket.
Yeah, you're sitting in a studio. All you have right now is time. Go ahead.
Why do people think all I have is time? What?
That's all we all have. That's all we all have.
Time.
Okay.
Wait, I got a question though, real quick. Hemda, can you sing?
Yes.
Well, she's amazing. Yeah.
Okay, so then what's the problem?
No one wants to hear just because I can't. Can Daniel Johnston sing? No, but
and
he
see
loves
how it
this
didn't
guy.
stop him? It didn't stop him. You're the first person I know who can sing who's like, oh, I don't know if I want to. I've seen so many people singing, waiting for the bus, go to like work at Popeyes, and they're
Would
just
you
singing.
do karaoke?
I don't like doing it because I don't.
I respect that. I really respect that.
I'll end up doing it because I like to have fun where the fun is. Like I'm not going to go bowling and not bowl. I'll go to karaoke and karaoke.
Of course.
But I always feel stupid after.
A fun trick if you can sing for karaoke is to do a genre that you're not really comfortable in. So like just rap. If you feel like you're a great singer, just do rap karaoke. That would be much more fun for you.
Oh my God.
Sing It's Just One of Those Days. You don't want to wake up. Just one of those days. You know.
Oh. Okay, I had a completely
I said
different.
rap, Keith.
Just
Me too.
one of those.
Just one of those days.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Monica, and I was
Me
like,
too.
who the hell told Keith about Monica? What is happening?
Keith's like, don't take it personal.
Yeah.
All right. So would it be nice if once a week Xerxes went out for a couple-hour walk and you got to sing?
Apparently that would be even more insulting because he's saying, I want to see you happy in this thing that you want to do. And I am saying, you don't know yourself or me, get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you do it just one time? And then if he doesn't want to do it again, then you can do it privately.
You guys probably had
let's try it.
sex that was more embarrassing, I'd have to assume, right?
Oh,
So who
for
cares?
sure.
Who gives a fuck?
I mean, you sing during sex, right? I mean, we all sing
Then
during
yes.
sex.
Only gospel. Amen.
Nope. Nope, that is not what I am singing.
How do we solve this, Xerxes? What do we think?
I don't know. I don't want to point fingers, but one of us is going to have to get over this hurdle and just play their music out loud.
What do you guys think I should do?
Play your music out loud.
Yeah, play it out loud.
I think if you want to ease into it, do the thing where play it for a while if Xerxes goes and does something, and then slowly you play maybe 1 or 2 songs a week where you let loose. And then the more that you're comfortable with it, the more you're good.
Start with like Beatles and Elvis that are only 2 minutes long, things like that.
My roommate and I will do a thing where we trade songs, where we're sitting around with our Spotify on our phone, and we've started to talk about a particular genre. So I'll play a song and that'll remind him of something, and he'll play a song. And we're coming at music different because he really loves the blues and I truly hate the blues. But he also, he doesn't know much about indie rock. And so I'll tell him about stuff like that. And we just do that for a couple of hours every once in a while.
We've done that where we play the family list puts your genres and my genres, and then you listen to a mix, and then it'll even tell you whose fault it is. It'll be like, oh, this is based on both you're playing. This is based on
don't let other algorithms do this.
But we've also done that where we listen to an album.
You pick your songs.
Okay, but whenever it's his song, I'm like, oh, what are these lyrics? Like blah blah blah. And when it's my song, I can't breathe, and I'm like feeling guilty that anyone has to listen to this. And also,
did this happen in the past? Somebody obviously,
Yes.
someone you must have been with has made you feel badly about your music because you have nothing to be embarrassed about, prove, or. And it doesn't
I don't think anyone likes to hear people randomly sing. Keith, do you remember talking about when you were a waiter?
It was
these
Keith.
singers?
It's neither here nor there. Let's focus on the now.
Oh, wow, Keith. I can't believe you did this to her.
But do you remember talking about like being at work with a bunch of singers and everyone had to sing?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's the most embarrassing thing to me? Someone who plays the guitar and decides that they're going to play for you while staring in your eyes.
Terrible nightmare.
Okay, thank you.
But you're not doing that. You're not
Yeah.
serenading him. You're just like singing and dancing and doing your own thing.
We all have.
I
our
think it's
hang-ups.
probably because you care a lot about maybe what he thinks. But I think that it's more the experience he feels like he's missing out on.
But if I was Xerxes and all of a sudden she does start singing and doing dishes at the same time, I'm going to be like, well, that's a fucking hint, right? We're done.
I actually, having known you guys for so long, I actually think some of this is related to the fact that it's so personal and such a big part of who you are, Hemda, that you're concerned about being vulnerable about that.
You shut up,
particular
Matt.
part.
Maybe you need to be quiet for a minute.
Well, I think it's related to your family being like, oh, you don't need to sing. Why do you sing? Blah, blah, blah. You're so loud, all these things. And then you did make singing a big part of your life and it opened up everything else. I feel like that's what you're just waiting for, that same moment for singing to become a part of this part of your life and have it open up another level.
How are you, Pippa? We haven't heard from you in a while. How's it going?
I love
Funny.
your singing voice.
And
You have
Xerxes,
an
you're great.
amazing singing voice.
Thank you.
I say do it.
I remember being in a car with Hemda. You want to? This is, I don't know how this relates, but I feel like
no.
it does. And I'm singing to a song on the radio, and she goes, "Oh, you have a nice voice. Sing it right." And I go, what? Just sing it the
my
right
God.
way. And so I sing a little more, and she goes, "No, do it right."
Come on.
Then I jumped out the car.
I may have been
And
in the car at
that's
that
when
time.
it was understood we broke up.
I think
Just
I may
jumped
have
out
been in
of
the car.
We never really talked about it. In fact.
I think I may have been in the car though, and I think I probably was thinking the same thing Hemda was thinking. No
Okay,
offense,
thank
Keith.
you.
Right.
I have a business where I sell music.
Right. You sell albums and
I
stuff.
sell,
right?
yeah, I sell records. I'm
Okay,
very
all right.
interested in music.
Okay, how about this? How about this? I've been on albums and have had albums, right? Musically.
Mhm.
And so I go, Xerxes, you ever heard my album? And he goes, yeah, I listened to it once.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't expect the people that you love who love you to actually listen to shit you do. My sister said about my my first comedy album, I think I heard half of it.
Well, she shouldn't do that.
I think I heard half of it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't expect don't expect that from folks. They're never gonna. I mean, they already love you, but they also kind of already know what you do a little bit.
But you know when you're wowed by people who come into your life who do care about things that you do or like how you feel about them, and then you're like, wow, this is what that should feel like. Like I feel so supported, and like the thing I love, you want to love because I love it.
But
Yeah,
I don't sing his genre of music. I never have. And I've sung
That's
like
okay.
so many different genres of music. They never hit the genre that he listened to.
That's okay. That's all right because that's not what you're into, and he just
Right.
wants to see you enjoy what you're
Yes.
into.
I ask
Yeah.
him silly questions like, let's say I got a show at Madison Square Garden once a week, but for my singing, would you come? And he's like, Madison Square Garden.
No, never.
Every
I'm
week.
not interested.
He said every week. He would come every single week.
That's so
I
cute.
mean, You'd probably need a ride there, so yeah.
I'm the one with the license if we're driving.
It's crazy that I wouldn't go.
I mean,
It'd be
he wouldn't
bananas if I
necessarily.
was like, nah, we're good.
He wouldn't necessarily listen. He'd have his own iPod or whatever.
Right, yeah. Or I think at the beginning, because it's so exciting, he would call, and then eventually when it becomes work to you and it becomes like, ugh, I got to go sing at Madison Square Garden, save yourself, watch TV, then it's fine. But at the beginning, when it's exciting, I'm sure it's like, yeah, but it'll get boring to you too. Just like anything that's exciting becomes.
He has come to my music things in the past, even when it's not his show. He came to like a Ben Lerman thing that I did, which was a Madonna cover song thing. So, yeah.
And Xerxes
so he
is very
cares.
homophobic.
He cares so much.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing that you don't play any music that you like and sing along to it in the house. It's definitely good because otherwise you're gonna have to start charging admission.
And then there's another thing. Like I've had to, send my music to someone. Like if they need to hear a sample of how I sing, right after or right before I send it, I listen to it again. Like, oh my God, what are they listening to? And I just need to. And then I'm like, oh, I hope nobody catches me listening to my own song. Ugh, just all kinds of drama behind my head.
We could solve this right now. Where's the Alexa?
No.
We're a Google household. How dare you?
Okay. What do you call Google?
Okay. Oh, fuck.
Don't say it.
Okay. And then that word you said.
I would like you can we flip a coin right now?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, she can.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Google, flip a coin.
You could have finished the whole
It's
song by
heads.
now. It's heads.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
I don't
Penda's
know.
heads, right?
That means
Yeah.
Vision of
Yeah.
Love, Mariah Carey. Good luck,
Okay, let's do
everybody.
I hear some good news, Kenda. You
Yes.
like good news.
I do.
Our friend Bianca Brady is out of the hospital.
Woot woot. Yeah.
You can check out caringbridge.org, and she has a little diary on there. Look up Bianca Brady, and you'll see a journal that her friends and family have been keeping us up to date. But it looks like real good news. All right. That's it. Do us a favor. Catch us live on the Stereo app. Stereo, stereo.com/Keith Malley or stereo.com/Chemda. You don't want to miss the show. We do a little fun thing there Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And you can interact and all that. And now Pippa will tell us if she did indeed have a good time today.
I had a wonderful time. Thank you so much, Jessie and Shalewa and Xerxes and Matt and Hemda and Keith. Of course, thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And again, anyone who's out there thinking, how will I pay for this in my budget? Just start saving now. You have a whole year until next year's Kickstarter. And the things that you do for us as the listeners is just phenomenal. And I really appreciate that you guys put so much of yourselves into what we get to receive and share our time with you. So thank you.
Well, we felt
Fine,
bad.
I'll sing you a song. Here we go.
Xerxes, leave the room.
Hold on, I got it.
Pippa, one person that you did want to have join us was the great Jessie Jolles. And she wanted to apologize that she couldn't make it.
Hey, this message is for Pippa Mags. Pippa, this is Jessie Jolles. I wanted to just say hi to you and say how truly flattered I am that you wanted to hear me again on Keith and the Girl. I'm so bummed that I couldn't be a guest on the show today, but I wanted to just make you just a little recording to say hi and thank you so much. I'm grateful to be in the Keith and the Girl world. And before I was ever a guest, I was a fan like you. So it really does mean a lot to me. I hope that you and yours are doing well. And thanks so much. I'm sure I'll be on Keith and the Girl sometime soon. And hopefully you can tune in then. But thank you. You made my day. All right. Take care. Actually, that was me. And I was joking the whole time. It's fantastic.
No, that was really her. She felt bad that she couldn't make it. She wanted to send you something.
What a wonderful community you all have built. And sincerely, since the beginning of the time I've started listening, and especially through the pandemic, what an incredible community to just get through all of this together. And thank you all for providing this. And thank you all for coming on the show and giving your time to this. And thank you, Christy. That was beautiful.
There
Don't
you
you
go.
wish all
Riding
producers
this
were like
high
that?
for the rest of the day.
Follow everything these guys are doing. Jessie Jolles, Matthew Bray, Shalewa Sharpe, Xerxes. And Henda's going to keep us up to date on if she's allowed to sing in her home or not. Okay. All right. We'll talk to you soon.
KeithAndTheGirl.com